Halftime TV viewers and subscribers, and for the cricket fans, it's not so happy because it's all gloom over the West Indies cricket team this morning. Now, the West Indies team, they lost their three-game series to Australia, and I know over the last few days, Olivia Babsy Granger, she's been speaking about the lights at Sabina Park in Jamaica because we had some challenges with those leading up to this test match. Now, it's a very strange one. It's a very strange one because Jamaica are Jamaicans in particular. The love for cricket, in my opinion, it's not where it once was. Now, growing up as a youngster, we loved cricket. We loved cricket out of this world. We had real role models that we were looking to in cricket, the likes of Ambrose and Brian Lara and Shivnarayan Chandapal and all these youngsters, all these folks that were at the top of their game. Chris Gayle as well, a young Chris Gayle was there, and he was doing his thing. As we grew older, we had Marlon Samuels. We had so many wonderful cricketers that we were looking to as youngsters. So if it wasn't football growing up in Jamaica, it was cricket. Now the tide has changed somewhat. Not somewhat. It has changed a whole lot. There is a lack of interest in cricket, and I think it's been evident now on the global stage because we can see it in the quality of cricket that's been produced by the West Indies cricket team. Now, West Indies, and get this, West Indies were bowled out for 27 runs. 27 runs. Let that soak in. Soak in now? Yes, 27. Little over 2 dozen. And this is a test match, people. I know one person in the comment section said it didn't even make any sense. Miss Grange installed the lights at Sabina Park because they didn't need the night to get this completed. But it was a day and night test match. What that means is that the teams didn't actually need to stay there for 3 full days. It ran from July 12th to 14th. And I think Jamaica is disappointed at the showing from the West Indies team on the soil. It's the second lowest total that West Indies has registered in a test match, the lowest since 1955, I believe. And I'll read this article quickly from BBC Sports. The headline: Australia skittle West Indies for 27, lowest test total for 70 years. So the 3 of 3, Australia, in their first inning, they made 225. West Indies made 143. Their second inning, they made 121. West Indies made 27. Australia bowled out West Indies for just 27, the second lowest in Test history and the worst since 1955, to complete a 176-run win and series clean sweep in Jamaica. The West Indies total on the third day of the night and day test in Jamaica was just 1 run more than New Zealand's 27 all-out against England in 1955. The previous lowest total by the West Indies was the 47 they managed against England in 2004. So Jamaica, we are in the history books for the wrong reasons, as we facilitated this drubbing of the West Indies cricket team. And I know it is, we don't usually come over here and speak about cricket, but this morning I felt compelled to do so, and not because of the horrible showing from the West Indies team, but to ask, where has the passion gone? Because even after this 27 all out, it still seemed as if some people aren't even interested. There isn't even the slightest bit of concern from the West Indies fans on the ground about where the cricket is heading, the direction of the cricket. Mind you, and I'll read some statistics for you, because we like to add those in there every now and then. Right? So let's add some stats to it. The highest scorer on the West Indies team, high scorer, get this, high scorer was Justin Greaves, and he made 11 runs. Justin Greaves made 11 runs. He scored 11 runs. The second highest scorer was the extras. And by extras, I mean no ball and wide and that sort of thing. The extras. So the extras accounted for 6 runs. So between Greaves and the extras, that's more than half of the runs that the West Indies team made on the day. There were 7 players in the West Indies lineup that made a duck. 7 players that failed to register a single point on the board. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing. You came out and you went back in just as you were. So what's happening? What's happening? We had Alzarri Joseph. He was knocked out on 4. We had Lewis on 4. He made 4 as well. Shea Hope made 2. And that's basically it. Those were the only persons who registered scores. Mikhail Lewis, 4. Shea Hope, 2. Justin Greaves, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, 11. Alzarri Joseph, 4. And the extras accounted for 6 runs. And I know for the elders who are sitting beside their radios, and well, not so much radios anymore, although some people still love to listen to their cricket via the radio. Now they're watching it on their television. They're disappointed. And for the youngsters coming up who don't have that interest in cricket any at all, and I have a slight idea of the reason behind that, because right now we don't really see any quote unquote successful young cricketers. We don't really see any successful young cricketers. We see successful young footballers. We see the likes of Yamal, who plays for Barcelona. Even on Jamaica's soil, we see Dujon Richards buying expensive cars and apartments, etc., playing for Chelsea, still a teenager. So is it that the interest in cricket has faded because a lot of these youngsters don't really see an immediate return on it? Or is it that the powers that be who are responsible for the recruiting and for driving up the interest among these youngsters, they aren't doing enough? It's a genuine question that I'm throwing out to you, the viewers and subscribers, because I want to know where it went wrong. Right now in Jamaica, if we're looking at successful cricketers, we can see Marlon Samuels, we can see Chris Gayle, but the age gap between Marlon Samuels and Chris Gayle and the youngsters now who are pursuing cricket, it begs the question. Is there a future? Is there a realistic future to be gained from playing cricket? Because that's where we're losing it. The passion, not anymore. We genuinely do not see the passion anymore. Right? We don't see the passion anymore. The Indian Premier League, a lot of the youngsters who come up and they're playing cricket, they want to get to the Indian Premier League because that's where the money is being made. Get to the Indian Premier League. They're not interested in playing Test cricket anymore because the glory and all the plaudits that they get from those in the diaspora, it means nothing because at the end of the day, they can't provide for their families. So they want to get to the IPL. So longer versions of the game, as we're seeing now, the one days and the Test crickets, they're slowly fading. And eventually, we'll only be paying attention to T20s, as is the case right now for most people, because they don't have time to watch the tests over 3 days, or they don't have the time to watch the one day for an entire day. Whatnot. They do not have the time. So the T20s, they're not only paying more, but they're shorter, and as such, they're driving more interest. Right now, people attention span. And in return, the consumers, those at home who are watching and who are paying to watch cricket, they're not interested in the longer version of the game either. And that transitions and translates over to the players, because that means they won't get paid for it. They're not being paid half or a fraction of what they're going to be paid in the T20s, because the T20s, they're going to attract way more sponsors, they're going to attract way more interest, way more intrigue, and will earn them more. So West Indies, 27 runs, lowest of lows right now. Lowest of lows for Test cricket, and I can't see a way back. I can't see a way back. I know the little interest that's still left in cricket, it may very well be only for the T20 or the shorter version of the game. As far as Test cricket goes, not only are players not being paid, they're not interested because they want to be playing in the shorter version because that's where they'll be able to provide for their families and to live comfortably as athletes. If you rank cricketers among the top sports persons, Test cricketers, you realize that it's chalk to cheese. However, when we're talking about T20, it's a different ball game. So maybe that's where it's going wrong. Maybe that's where it's all going downhill. Maybe we should just give up on Test cricket. Maybe we should just give up on Test cricket because, quite frankly, we can see here, and for most of you, I know that you don't even know you don't even know three persons in this team, in this West Indies test team. Back in the day, whenever West Indies was playing, folks were looking to see Shanda Paul, they're looking to see Sarwan, they're looking to see Brian Lara, Curly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh. All these guys were looking to see them. A young Chris Gayle, Marlon Samuels, and even more recently the likes of Bravo, Russell. These guys, we were looking to see them. They were standout stars. They were superstars that captured the interest of even the neutrals because of what they brought to the sport, right? We don't see that now. And again, I'm not here to chastise or to bash the West Indies team because obviously they went out there and they gave it a go. But 27, not good enough. 27, not good enough. 27, not good enough. 7 or 8 players on the team making a duck. That's a joke. West Indies, ridiculous. And they will be ridiculed. Because right now, we're in the history books for the wrong reasons. We're in the history books for the wrong reasons. And I know I know Olivia Babsy-Gray, she'll be regretting installing those lights at Sabina Park because she'll be saying, I installed the lights for this. So she's an accessory to the drubbing that the West Indies received from the Australia team. So I'll leave it at that, halftime TV viewers and subscribers. Let's hear what your thoughts are on West Indies being bowled out for 27 runs in the final test against Australia. West Indies would end up losing the series by 176 runs, and that means Australia won 3-0. Yep, so it's a clean sweep for Australia, and I don't know where we go from here. So I'm going to ask you, the viewers and subscribers, where does the West Indies team go from here? Where do they go from here? Because this is the lowest of lows. I don't think they can get any lower than this. Right now, they're in the basement. Where do they go from here? 27 all out. The West Indies, abysmal performance. Highest scorer, Greaves, with 11 runs. Then we have the extras. Thank God for the extras. 6 runs on the board, courtesy of extras. But ultimately, that wasn't enough to dig the West Indies team out of this hole. And I'm going to turn it over to you to hear what your thoughts are on this show. And remember, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.